the dissolving, if that happens, of the EFCC doesn't stop, the fight against corruption. The government still has, other security agencies and other bodies, that could also take up the fight against corruption.
All right, my people, welcome back to this YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be talking about VDM, EFCC, and the Kogi State government. We all know how the Kogi State governor is trying to protect Yahaya Bello when he's trying to cover him up in order not to be arrested. So we are going to be talking about that in this video, and also we'll also be talking about how EFCC has been sued. Yes, EFCC has been sued by so many individuals, by so many organizations because of what they do, because of how they operate. Yes, we all know EFCC operates by burglaring people's house, breaking things, breaking their personal belongings. We'll also be talking about that. And we'll also be talking about this trendy video of this woman that EFCC harassed. She was harassed by the EFCC officer. We are going to be talking about all of this all together.
And they are locking somebody up because EFCC does not know how to follow due process. You want private information. You want to request official information. There is absolutely nothing like data laws anymore in this country. You just wake up and decide because you have the right to say lock this person up, they should lock the person up. Requesting for personal information without official letter, without court order, and then you're locking a man up, keeping his wife at home and his baby at home without anything. The name of the officer is Mrs. Damilola Ajayi. They used to say people call Damilola because even me myself, my name is Damilola. All of us are mad, and since she wants to know madness, her name is Damilola Ajayi. Who say to EFCC office locking up a man because you cannot follow due process. Everything in Nigeria has gone to fields. Any little thing, nobody wants to follow due process again. Tomorrow, all of us will be here. All of us will be here tomorrow. You want to lock somebody up? Sure, you will lock somebody that is a signatory to the account. Or God will put your face. You people can lock me up today. Damilola Ajayi is the one that started this. We are coming. The person you are locking up is not a signatory to the account. Lock me up, not him. But you are locking him up instead. No more rule of law in this country. Any little thing, everybody is showing power. Everybody is showing might. You have power to lock somebody up.
Madam, sorry for what your husband is going through, but the only problem is this. Your husband does not have a godfather. Because according to the story, if person don't get godfather, EFCC no they respect you, they will treat you anyhow. But if you have a godfather, or maybe your husband, maybe, if you they collect from Yash, EFCC go fear and or drop in charges, they go house. You understand? One godfather for court. But apparently, your husband is not like that. But anyways, I'll pass through the EFCC office now. If you are there, we'll shout. And also, I will speak to my lawyer, and then we'll go there. We'll go there and go and see now. Let's see what is going on there. You understand? Maybe I talk to the lawyer. We'll go to the EFCC office. We'll go see what really happen. Now, you see the problem of this country. In advanced country, before they arrest you, they would have done the whole investigation to see that you are guilty. Then when they arrest you, you don't say, they come back house again. But for Nigeria, they'll arrest you while doing the investigation. And at the end of the day, case goes spoiled. Case goes spoiled. That is the problem. This same EFCC again, where they catch people for corruption. Now, not corrupt backs. The corruption in your system is bigger than anything Nigeria has ever seen. EFCC is too corrupt. Too corrupt. Too corrupt. But I know where they come. They know that they go there now. If I see you there, fine. If I don't see you, no problem. I wish I didn't get a number. We'll go there, go follow the decrease. This country will get better if we put hands together. But you see this, I don't care attitude. If you don't touch you, you know what's up. When they go touch you that time, you go learn and you will learn the hard way. Don't play.
Today I was at EFCC office. I already knew that they were moving. I went there because you arrested the staff of my husband. And my husband, being the owner of the company, said, lock me up instead while you are conducting whatever investigation you want to conduct. So we are going there for him to present himself. On getting there, apparently, the woman that locked up the staff ran away. Because we told her we were coming, and in less than 5-10 minutes, we were there. She ran away. And then out of anger, I stood in front of EFCC office and I was ranting, which was when I made the first video. After I made the video, one of the officers came to meet me. He was like, Madam, calm down. Madam, calm down. You don't need to make noise. You don't need to make noise. I was even trying to tell him that, okay, I'm not making noise, but you know your officer is doing wrong. Before you know what was happening, this guy snatched my phone from my hand. I'm like, bros, why did you snatch my phone from my hand? Unfortunately for him, as soon as I finished making the first video, I already uploaded on Facebook because I know how these people can be. You can never trust Nigerian officers, and it's a very bad reputation for people to have. He snatched my phone from my hand. I'm like, okay, why are you snatching my phone from my hand? You want to beat me? The next thing, he came and started using his chest to push me. Oga wanted to fill me up. Started using his chest to push me. What will you do? And I'm like, if they born you, he collected my phone, went away. And I'm like, bros, my personal information is on my phone. And I've remembered IG of police talking so many times that no officer has a right to collect your phone from you without a warrant. This man collected my phone from me. EFCC, if I'm lying, release the CCTV footage of the front of your office to prove me wrong. He collected the phone and went inside. And then another one, an ordinary security officer, obviously it's probably a police officer, I don't care who he is, but he's a security officer at the front desk or whatever it is they call it, at the security post. He now looked at me as I was talking, said, madam, no, they shout say ashawo. Like any little thing in Nigeria, once they see a woman that they cannot stand, a woman that they cannot in their lifetime open mouth and talk to, once they have the opportunity to talk in a way to humble her or to bring her down, they are going to say ashawo. I'm supposed to feel ashamed or shut up because boy that if he sees me on a good day will prostrate to and is calling me a shower. I'm supposed to shut up because of that. I beg, whose mama no be a shower for here? You call me a shower, so make I keep quiet, make I fear you. Who are you? Who you form? Who you be? According to who are you? EFCC, you need to retrain your officers. You need to retrain them. You are supposed to learn how to de-escalate issues, not escalate issues. Because why did you snatch my phone? Why are you using your body to push me as a man, telling me you beat me? Is that supposed to put the fear of God in me and then I'm going to keep quiet because one man said he's going to beat me? Who are you? And then another officer from nowhere that is not involved in the situation came out and said I'm a shawu. If I'm lying, release the footage. This thing happened this evening. Release the footage in front of your office for me. Because I intend to take this up. I intend to take this up. And unfortunately for you people, I have a video of the face of the person that called me a shawu. So if I am lying, please release the footage. Any little thing you see a woman, a shawu, that one snatched my phone using chairs to push me. If you want to touch my bosom, just say it, make I open them for you. You're using chairs to push me as what? As what? I'm very, very ashamed of EFCC. Very, very terrible. And all this unnecessary fishing expenditure that you people go to. Because Nigerians don't go to court. Nigerians always try to settle the situation out of court. Or they leave it to God. When I don't cross the wrong one. And to the officer that snatched my phone. Because I am standing on the road that the president before Tinubu and Buhari built. Telling me I cannot stand on the road. And you want to push me away with your chest. We shall meet. I've been informed by my lawyers that the EFCC are planning to invite me for questioning for daring to embarrass them because I posted that video day before yesterday where the officer was harassing me and another one calling me a shawo, and because they illegally detained someone, obviously. So for daring to embarrass the commission, they are planning to invite me for questioning and probably detain me, which is their MO. Dear EFCC, I have not you. I swear to God, I have not you. However, tomorrow by 12 p.m. on my life, I intend to ask you people because I am going to share all the details of this investigation that you people are doing that is leading you to illegally detain an innocent person. This time around, the innocent person that you people are detaining is my husband. Dear EFCC, you cannot beat me and tell me how to cry. If you beat me, I will cry as loudly as I want to. Because the more it beats me, the louder I. You cannot beat me and say, don't. That was when I was a baby. If you I will, and then I will not cry. Now, EFCC, I am a grown woman. I am a mother. The way I during labor when I was bringing forth a child is the way I will cry now. Because you cannot beat me and tell me not to cry. You have detained my husband. I wish you success in your investigation. I swear to God, I wish you success in your investigation. But you see, I am going to share everything I know about that investigation tomorrow by 12 o'clock. If this man is not released. Because this has absolutely nothing to do with him. What you are looking for is to figure out a way to incriminate him or to get dirt on the person that you are investigating. And you think it is by my husband? By me, by detaining my husband or even threatening to detain me. I have come to realize it is a rite of passage in this country to sleep in detention. Because if you don't sleep in detention, then it means you are not a patriotic Nigerian. So no problem. My husband will sleep there. He will be fine. Me, his wife, I'm ready to sleep there. I will be fine. But you see, this nonsense, it will not continue. Tomorrow by 12 p.m. Inshallah, if I don't see my husband in my front like this, I am releasing every detail about your investigation. Let us know the real meaning of your statements.
All right, you've heard the argument. The states are planning to take the EFCC to court. Before we get into, what the current challenges the EFCC has had to face in the past few weeks, or do I say months, let's talk about what the implication of this might mean, going to court, and what's a ruling in favor of the states should that happen, what that would mean for the EFCC.
Well, ordinarily, I wouldn't want to talk about that. When the matter is before the court, elementarily in law, we know that is sub judice. We should not talk about it. But be that as it may, the overriding need for us to strengthen our nation against every form of economic and financial crime cannot be overemphasized. If we leave the pyrotechnics of the law, the technicality of the law, whatever argument anybody may want to canvass, the truth of the matter is corruption is real in Nigeria, and it has to be tackled. So let's allow the courts to decide. But you and I know that we need to move a step further. We need to do something. The narrative has to change. The paradigm has to shift. We must not continue the way we are. And that is what the commission is doing. So whatever might be the argument of anyone or group of individuals concerning that, well, let the court decide. But it is obvious that as a nation, we need to fight corruption. It is a matter that cannot be debated. It is a matter that is beyond any controversy. So if 20 people, 30 people, 40 people, 50 people, 1 million people go to court and say that, no, the EFCC should not be allowed to function, we all know that that will not be in the overall interest of the nation. So let's allow the court to decide.
Well, I mean, the dissolving, if that happens, of the EFCC doesn't stop, the fight against corruption. The government still has, other security agencies and other bodies, that could also take up the fight against corruption. Or maybe we'll set up a new agency. So it's not like, Nigeria's fight against corruption is solely dependent on the existence of the EFCC in the first place. The case is being led by the Kogi state government. So do you think it is because of the recent, case concerning former Kogi state governor Yahaya Bello? Is that where you think that this is coming from?
Well, there is no need for us to make any conjecture or any speculation or any hypothetical consideration concerning where it is coming from. From whichever angle it may be coming from, the truth of the matter is that corruption is an issue in Nigeria, and it has to be tackled. And let me tell you, going by the track record of the EFCC, the pungency of our action, the credibility of our operations, the international acceptability of what we are doing, I think the commission is in a better state to continue with what it is doing. So it doesn't matter what argument anybody is raising. So a few weeks back, I think just last month, I had cause to be in UK for an engagement. And when the immigration people at the airport, I think it was Gatwick Airport in London, when they were raising issues about my immigration issue, the moment I told them that I came from the EFCC, the narrative changed. Oh, you are from the EFCC. Oh, EFCC in Nigeria. Oh, you people are doing fantastically. You are working. That is from another land.
Okay,
Yeah, so
but that's from another.
that...
Okay, let's bring it back to Nigeria. I mean, you're getting raving reviews from the United Kingdom, but in Nigeria, it's a different kettle of fish. The reactions that we've seen from Nigerians and the statements that have been made about the EFCC has been one that is lacking of trust. Case in point is the Yahaya Bello case. Why did the EFCC not arrest Yahaya Bello when he submitted himself, to the EFCC headquarters?
Very good. Ordinarily, when you look at a situation, if I were in your situation, I will also ask the same question now. You declare somebody wanted, he came to your premises, and you did not arrest him. Normally, ordinarily, anybody will, and it will raise some few concerns. But the truth of the matter is that at our own end, we have facts. We work on, the EFCC is intelligence driven. we have at our fingertips facts why we should not take him into custody when he came. We may not rush to the public, maybe because of the need for us to score some public relations point or whatever to say this is the intelligence we have. We are not going to talk about it. But the truth of the matter is that ordinarily everybody will behave the way the public expected. But there are issues that actually made it impossible for us to take him into custody. He knew and we knew. And so at the appropriate time,
what issues? What we're asking is, what the question really is about clarity on the issues that made you not arrest him. I mean, it's pretty obvious that there are issues.
I may not be able, for now, I may not be able to come to the public with some of these facts. You know, there are issues that border on intelligence. There are issues that borders on the continuity of what we are doing. So that's what.
So what is then the use of him being declared wanted? Why then is he being declared wanted? If
logic.
Yeah, what then is the use of him being declared wanted if he can walk into your office and walk out? You know, and then you say that there are reasons you can't arrest him. Why is he then wanted? And then, of course, if you remember later that day, there were reports that the EFCC went, to once again exchange gunfire. I believe, I don't know what happened at the Kogi State Government House. So, what then is the use of all of that? If you say that there are reasons you can't arrest him.
Yeah, you see, now when he came to our premises, I just told you that ordinarily, using ordinary logic, you expect that somebody that has been declared wanted, it was your premises, you take him into custody. But we have reasons that are beyond what the public may have known, and I'm not going to talk about it. At the Kogi State incident, what happened at the governor's lodge, I was there. There is a lot of misinformation, a lot of misrepresentation about what happened. I was there.
Which is why we are.
Nothing. They open.
So what happened?
So
what happened there?
Now, what happened there? When he came, it is true that we asked him to go back. And at the appropriate time, we will come for him. There was an agreement that he will come back. So, and we went, as a responsible law enforcement agency, to meet with him, to have discussions with him, and to bring him, in the way we wanted. And of course, the security details opened fire, raising issues. And because we didn't want anything that may cause a kind of breakdown of law and order, we had to ask our men, to retreat and to come back. It's not the EFCC that opened fire.
So
I'm sorry. I'm mostly just responding to what you said initially, that there are reasons you didn't arrest him when he came, or you asked him to go back. It just doesn't make sense that you asked him to go back, and then later that day you then go, and then his men open fire at you.
All right. Unfortunately, you said to us
Don't forget that I earlier told you that at the appropriate time we are going to bring to the public domain why he was not arrested on our premises.
Mr. Ayewale, we hope that that can happen very soon, because Nigerians want some clarity. We unfortunately are running out of time, but let's quickly ask you, Bobrisky. There have been allegations that Bobrisky
I remember that we issued a press statement.
We saw that.
A press statement very recently.
We saw that.
You saw it, fine. Now, the Yaya Bello issue is not what is going to determine the effectiveness or lack of it for the EFCC.
The Supreme Court has fixed October 22nd for the hearing of a suit filed by at least 16 state governments challenging the constitutionality of the laws establishing the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and 2 others. Do you think this move by the governors is politically motivated?
Absolutely. I think it is not only politically motivated. I think it is just aimed at serving the selfish interests of the governors of those states who are seeking to challenge the constitutionality of the EFCC Establishment Act. Of course, you will agree with me that the state governments have been a major impediment to the implementation of various anti-graft laws across the country. And in fact, in recent times, Kogi State, which spearheaded this suit at the Supreme Court, has been in the news recently over the attempt to investigate the former state governor, who, of course, also installed the current governor, And without any doubt, this is the motivation for the current suit. And you will understand why the other 15 state governors also feel the need to join. It is basically self-preservation, self-interest. And I think that's what it is all about, nothing more.
And what specific sections of the Nigerian Constitution might the Supreme Court examine, to determine whether or not this is even legal in the first place,
Well, the Kogi state government has sought to rely on Section 12 of the Constitution, which, of course, requires that when international conventions are adopted, the two chambers of the National Assembly must approve of them, and then there must be some sort of approval from the state houses of assembly. This argument, I think, is very flawed, because while the EFCC Act itself might have been something that was done in order to fulfill Nigeria's international obligations, and perhaps the Act itself might have adopted to a large extent a UN convention, it is not necessarily true and correct that the EFCC Act was adopting the convention. The EFCC Act, nowhere in the Act was it stated that this Act is, aimed at adopting this UN convention. Nowhere. And so where that argument is coming from can only be from a very ridiculous standpoint that only the Kogi state governor and other state governors can see. It is an act, a legislation of the National Assembly, and as such, it was validly passed by the National Assembly, applicable across the entire federation. There is no, or I expect the Supreme Court anyway to dismiss it swiftly and decisively.
I think at this point we need to establish whether or not there's been legal precedents, if any even exist, regarding challenges to the constitutionality of federal agencies, such as the anti-graft agency EFCC here in Nigeria.
Well, I don't even know about, I'm not aware of any suit that has sought to challenge the establishment of such agencies. But I can tell you that, yes, there are laws that have been made in Nigeria at the federal level which seek or sought to adopt UN conventions. So, for instance, the Child Rights Act, the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, and other similar acts that were essentially intended to adopt certain international conventions. Now, these such laws generally will be applicable only at the federal level or to federal agencies only. And then, of course, they will only be made applicable by the states when they are adopted by the various states' houses of assembly. And, well, these ones, there were no arguments. Nobody sought to challenge anything. I think everybody just agreed that was the position. But in this case, the EFCC Act did not state, there was nothing, whether in the recitals or in the main body of the Act itself, that says that it is intended to adopt a particular convention. So it is an act of the National Assembly made applicable across the country. Now, the argument being advanced by the Kogi state that the EFCC Act was derived from a United Nations convention and requires that approval by the state houses of assembly is misplaced. It is important to clarify that the establishment was done through a valid legislative process as provided by the Constitution, or by the National Assembly, under its powers in the constitutions to make laws for peace, order, and good governance. It does not adopt a UN convention. It was merely created to fulfill Nigeria's international obligations. And of course, remember, to combat corruption and economic crimes. Remember, at that time, Nigeria was regarded as a pariah state across the world. It was just coming out from a very deeply resented military government. And there was a need, of course, by Nigeria, of course, to show that it was already ready to combat corruption. And this was what led to the establishment of the EFCC, the ICPC, and one or two other agencies like that. So it is a necessity for national security and economic prosperity. So the suggestion that every international obligation requires ratification by all states is not only impractical, but it's legally unsound, and I totally do not agree with it.